Okay, hello everybody. I am trying to get a little video here for you guys to program your calculators. I'm going to start at the beginning and go all the way through to the end. So if you know a lot of this, you might want to just scoot to the end and see what the program looks like, because at the end I'll scroll through all of the steps. So if you're pretty good, you might save yourself some time. But starting at the very beginning, to get to the program, I just hit the program button and you'll see there is an existing program there. So I'm going to show you how to delete a program in case you misspell it and you want to start over. You can do it like this. So I'm going to quit out of it, and then I go down here for the memory. So that right there above the plus sign, I do second, hit the memory, and it's under memory management and delete. So I press number 2 for that. And then I want to go down to program, so it's way down below the number 6 there. It's number 7. I hit enter, and up appears my my one program, which I'm going to delete. So I just hit enter, and you'll see the asterisk appears. Then I hit the delete key, and it asks me if I'm sure I want to delete it, and heck yes I do. So I hit number 2, and then it is gone, and that tells me how much RAM and archive memory I have. So I'll then quit out of it. I go to program, and now I'm ready to have a brand new program. So I can go over to new, hit enter. I'm going to name this sphere again, and so type SPHERE. You'll notice that it's flashing the A. That means it's in alpha lock mode. I have up to 8 characters to do any program. When I hit enter, it's created the new program. It's named it sphere, and there's my colon there for my first step, my first line of programming code. Now I'm going to do this with a few bells and whistles, and you can obviously make these things fancier, but that takes more time. So everything goes through this button here in the center, the program button, and I hit it, and I get a control menu, and I go over once to the right, and I get my input-output menu. Well, I'm going to display a little phrase that says what this program needs, and it needs me to enter a radius. So by going to alpha mode, that's that green button right there, and above it you see is A lock. That stands for alpha lock. So by hitting the blue button, then the green button, I get it flashing in that A mode until I hit the alpha button again, and it turns it off. So everything that I need displayed as words or text, I need to put in quotes. So I hit the plus button for my quote sign, and I'm going to type in enter, E-N-T-E-R, and then above the 0 is the space, and then radius. So it's R-A-D-I-U-S, and I have to close it with a quote. And when I'm done with my line of code, I hit enter, and I get a new line. I can put about as many characters inside the quotes as will fit across one width of the screen. Any longer and it truncates it, it chops it off. So then I need to input that radius, so I go back to program. Everything goes through program, input, output, and I'm going to use prompt there because that will give me a question mark. And I need to assign a letter variable that will be for this input, and so I'm going to do alpha and then R, and that'll stand for radius. So I've got my R inputted. Now I can do the actual math. If you're ever writing a really short program that's really just one equation, you can just immediately go right to a display and then display the equation, and it will just give you an answer. But this is going to be more involved than that, so I'm going to break it down into parts, and I'm going to do just for clarity in parentheses 4 divided by 3 close parentheses. That's the 4/3, and I'm going to leave off pi for now, and then I'm going to do r cubed. So I do alpha and r, and then I do caret to the 3. So this is 4/3 r cubed, and then when I stick pi on at the end, that will give me an exact answer. So here's where I go down to this button STO with the arrow. I hit that for store, and I'm going to store this as any letter I want, but I'm going to choose to do it for E to remind me that that's an exact answer. And then I hit enter, and I've now got the calculation done on the calculator to give me that E. and I'm going to display it as an exact answer. So once again, I need to have the calculator tell me what's going on, and I want it to display in quotes the word exact answer. So I lock it into alpha mode, and I type the quotes, and I'll say exact, E-X-A-C-T, and this is volume, so I'm going to leave space and do VOL, VOL, and I'll do space, and I'll do IS, and just for fancy grammatical reasons I'll do the colon, and that's above the period, and then I'll close it with a quote. So it'll say exact volume is, I hit enter, and then it's going to display E, which is our exact answer, and then it's also going to display a pi sign after that. So I'll do display, go over again to input output. So again, it's option 3. I'm going pretty fast, but if you do this a little bit, you'll get fast at this too. And then I do alpha E, and then I'm going to put in a comma and then do my quotes again. So I do alpha and plus, and here's where I get the pi symbol in. You see that there above the caret, so I do second caret, that gives me the pi symbol, and then alpha and the quote. Okay, you have to do this absolutely perfectly or it'll give you an error message, but if it does, it'll usually show you where your error is, and it'll take you to the spot, and you'll realize that maybe you forgot a quote or forgot a comma or did something like that. So I hit enter, and this is going to be a short little program that will give me the exact volume. To test it, I just need to quit out of it, and then I hit program, and I do execute. That's like run the program. I do that. I hit enter to get me going, and it says enter the radius. So suppose the radius is 10. I hit enter, and the exact volume is 1,333 and then a third pi. Well, if I want to display that as a fraction in rational form, I can go back and add a step to my program. So if I hit program, and then I go to edit, hit enter, I go down here, and I'm going to display E as a fraction. So right here after E, there's this key that'll put it into fraction form. So I do second, and then the delete key will get me to insert, and then I insert the math number 1 option, which is into fraction, and I hit that, and you see E into fraction pi. That will now give me the answer in rational form. So just to prove it, I'll quit out of it, and now notice if I just hit enter again, it's going to give me enter radius. It's smart enough to know that I'm working on this program. I don't have to go back through the menu. If I type in 10 again and hit enter, you can see it gives me 4,000 thirds pi. So that's an exact answer. It's a pity that pi is way over there. You have to learn that because numbers can vary in size, it's very difficult to get pi tacked on after the actual number itself. Okay, so that's the basics of the volume program. If I want to get it as an exact and a decimal answer, I can then go to the bottom of my program and add on one more display, which is found, of course, for the 5th time under input output. I can just do display alpha E, then times pi, so second pi right there, and then it'll display the fraction form with pi, and then it'll display E times pi, and it'll give me all the digits. Okay, so if I keep doing this to go into the exact and decimal versions of surface area, I'll put in those 2 equations then. So I'll do that quickly.